Hi everybody, he's back with a game room tour for 2021. Some of you may have already seen the teaser video, which was taken at night time, and obviously this is a more in detail view of the room, taken daytime obviously. As you can see, there's my TV setup, Sony Trinitron, plus the Sony LCD stroke DVD combi, which is the same model or same series of models that came out with the TV that came combined with PS2, I believe. My Neo Geo Fight Stick controllers, Boba Fett, a little room guard, my little avatar figure, 3D molded figure I had done on me on my Xbox avatar, and my control, my systems, obviously a Saturn, Xbox, Virtua Stick, PS2 in the background. By the way, these have got covers. A lot of these consoles got custom covers made by Printer Boy. Check out his website. Modded Xbox 360, modded Wii, modded PS3, which has got tons of PS2 and PS1 games on, and arcade. My Dreamcast, which I modded myself just to sort out the battery and I think it was like capacitor issues I had to change as well on that. Yeah. GameCube. Obviously some of the arcade sticks for the Wii, Xbox, Dreamcast, PS1, PlayStation, Virtua Stick. There's a Genesis little fight stick too. I do have the same model one for SNES, but don't use that much. And beneath, I've got my Model 2 Mega Drive with Sega CD, 32X, which I don't really use 32X. I've only got a couple of games for talk about later. There's a one of the little mini arcade controllers for the Neo Geo. There's a Neo Geo beneath. The Astro SETI. Beneath this Mega Drive cover is a Retro Freak. Obviously 2 Neo Geo minis. A little Saturn charger. Boba Fett. Behind is Sony LCD screen, which I got as a not only clock calendar, but also it's shows lots of retro gaming pictures on slides. So I've got the 100 odd pictures of retro games. Behind that, you can make it out, it's an N64. Beneath here, I've got my Retro Pi arcade stick at the back, plus mini PlayStation and PC engine. At the bottom is one of my switches, and behind that is the Atari Jaguar, my VCR, SCART boxes, an iPod dock and VHS tapes, and a few retro DVDs behind there. Lord of the Rings statue, fan. But let's go back a stage and let's give a quick overview of the room again. So that's the main console setup. But obviously we've got the room. Let's go, not go too fast. A lot of these IKEA shelves. Mixture of Billy and Kallax, and there's another range of bookcase over there. I can't remember what it's called now. It's sort of slightly cheaper range, but all by IKEA. I'll talk more about these games in a minute. I just want to do an overview of the room. Down here, more games, other goodies, which I'll talk about in a minute. My gaming chair. Not walking too fast. Other side of the room, the obligatory tumble dryer. Down here, more storage for games and stuff, which I'll talk more about in a minute. But then go back a bit, give you an overview of the room. The chair. Going back out here into the main living room, which I'll briefly go over quickly. Bookcase with various, obviously, old books and stuff, some of my King Kong collectibles and Gears of War, my PS2 library, and a few other retro goodies, as you can see. That's about 1,000 PS2 games here. A bit of a nut on Alien, so I've got some Alien collectibles. That is a replica motion tracker, and a few other gaming goodies and a few Star Wars goodies thrown in there for good measure. Just along the bottom, some of my final collection. And there's my main TV, which has got all the modern consoles, which I don't need to talk much about. I'll go to hell for that one. Okay, back in the game room. Alright, let's talk a bit. We talked about a TV setup. Behind the TV setup, a console setup, got these shelves, and these are protected by net curtains. I'm in the conservatory, so I've got to be mindful of UV damage, and these games go about halfway down, so it's probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. It's about 6 rows of games going on up to a wall, and it's got my original Xbox collection and some overspill on the Xbox 360 in there too. Just along the top there's a few pop figures which you can't really see. Here I've got this net curtain again, but behind here I've got this which you can't see. It's a plastic cling film, proper professional stuff, on both doors that blocks out 95% of UV. So you can buy it on the internet and it does the job. Again, it's just protecting them from UV damage, especially when I've got some old, I say old, these are a new retro range of Star Wars figures. Some Mandalorian and classic vintage ones I had when I was a nipper. Obviously I've got some of the Totaku figures along the top. Here's my out of the box DJ Hero turntable, and also behind the bag of loose arcade light guns. Behind here, this bookcase here, which is like the thinner case, it's not Billy bookcase, but it's one of the more standard case which you don't have choice over the shelves. I've got all my setup for, you know, just unlock this. It's all my controllers. So on the top we've got my Nintendo Switch arcade stick, plus the drum and odds and sods retro controllers on the top. And I've got the PlayStation arcade Hawaii stick, PlayStation 1 stick there, and loose PlayStation controllers within the mouse. And beneath that I've got the Xbox set up, various Xbox controllers along the top there. And here I've got my Saturn flight stick and Dreamcast flight stick and mouses and more Sega controllers and stuff there. And that bit I've got the Saturn racing wheel and a few other odds and sods of controllers and stuff. So if you've got some odd and sod controllers, this is a really good idea I've done on myself of storing all these in a neat way. And I just got this, it's the shower curtain actually, quite simple, does the job. Go back to keep it all tidy, make it so it's not unsightly really. Okay, going back around the game room again. Let's do some of the good stuff. Okay, first of all, along the top there, as you can see, I got a few more interesting goodies, such as the original box Xbox controller and Wavebird and Game Boy camera. Behind that's a printer and a roll of paper, and I even got a few other goodies up there, as you can imagine. But here's about 8 rows, 8 shelves of all my loose PS3 games. And again, I must have, I don't know, 700 or 800 PS3 games, and they all go all the way much further back than you can see. This shelf here, as you can see, I've got my oversized Star Wars figures, which I got cheap off eBay, which were from a Disney store, and the original Boba Fett there. These shelves, again, these are 8 shelves high, Billy. Behind that, I've got another 2 metal, well actually 2x2 metal rows of shelves, which has got a lot of the box consoles on, like my various variants of my Xbox 360 consoles and GameCubes, and basically I put behind as well not only my box retro consoles, but also various odds and sods, you know, like accessories and stuff, which I know I'm not going to need on a day-to-day basis. So I wanted the games out to be more accessible, so they all store behind there. If I need to get behind it, what I need to do is simply move those Star Wars figures, and I can work out or gently pull out this middle shelf here, and that gives me access to all the stuff at the back. But yeah, it's about making most of an empty space, really. Unfortunately, I can't have it all easily accessible and still have a room in which I can play games in, really. So anyway, I digress a little bit. Along the top here is my original boxed NES collection. Gone for all the favourite games. As you can see, it's got Castlevania and Sunsoft Batman, Return of the Joke, and DuckTales, and as well as DuckTales 2 and Gargoyle's Quest 2 and Godzilla 2 as well, which is in a special custom sleeve. It's the original cart, but a sort of customised new sleeve, because a box version of that game is ridiculous. Kid Dracula, Mighty Final Fight, and boxed and complete a little what's it called again? Is it Gone Home? I think it's Gone Home or something like that. No, Sweet Home, sorry, Sweet Home, which is obviously inspired by Resident Evil. As you can see behind it, I've all got my box with NES games and on both shelves. It says I've got my favourite games up the front, okay? So I'm not going to do a full NES show and tell this video, it will just take forever. Beneath, overspill of some Famicom games, and it goes on to a SNES collection. Again, at the front I've got my favourite SNES games. That Earthbound is a genuine display box, but obviously it's got a European sort of custom cart, which has got the Japanese version of the game but in English, which is the best way of playing it more than anything else, because the American version of the game is not necessarily the best way of playing it. Beneath here I've got some more white SNES games going on the back. Favourite ones at the front, as you can see, Super Mario RPG and Turtles in Time, and some Super Famicom. My one and only MVS box game, which is Samurai Showdown 2, which I got with my AES, my Neo Geo AES. My one and only Game.com cartridge, Resident Evil 2, and a couple of Evercade cartridges. And my little small Neo Geo Pocket collection. Card Parties Clash, Metal Slug First Mission, the Second Mission, Batch Millennium, and Samurai Showdown 2. Beneath here we've got my SNES Overspill and N64 collection start off, so it's obviously a Super Metroid box there. At the back there, I don't know if you can just make it out, let me see if I can zoom in there. My two only box 32X games, so it's Star Wars Arcade, and beneath it is Spider-Man Web of Fire, what it was called. It is actually a repo, all box with manual and everything, but it's a European repo. This game never got released in Europe, but it's an American exclusive game, so even if you got the American game, you wouldn't be able to play it on your unmodded 32X, so I've got a repro version. Next out I've got my American, I'm sorry, Japanese N64 games at the back, and at the front here, these are all double road, all my N64 games. I'm not going to go through all those right now, but there's lots of good games there, all boxed and complete. Beneath there, I don't know if you can just make out, there's two more shelves which has got my small special editions of my PS3. So not the collector's sets that come with statues, but the smaller ones. So there's two shelves full of PS3 over there. go back over here a bit. Okay, obviously I've got my Capcom arcade stick at the top. Oversized Boba Fett pop. Some Witcher gaming magazines. Over here, some more interesting goodies. As you see, it's got the game.com and Engaged, and my boxed links and box game gear. And also at the front, I've got a little alien molded cheetah controller joystick, which I think is compatible with I think it's PC, I think. Not a very good controller, but still it's just cool, isn't it? Cool display piece. Okay, here 8 shelves going back quite deep, as you can see down the side there. There's about 600, well, I think it's about 630 PS1 games, all good boxed and complete. And they all go down. You can see the titles for yourself. And on the bottom 2 shelves are my imports. Again, go back to my PS1 collection videos if you want to see more details on those. Over here is my little shelf of my Mega CD or Sega CD games. So obviously we're they are at the back more so. Obviously, honourable mentions at the front, Snatcher and KO Flying Squadron. And here beneath it, I just got some eclectic toot. So I got some of my Gorillas figures with a few Game Boy bits in front. This is like a mini arcade I built with its own little carpet with lots of little micro arcades working, micro arcades. Either side of them playing with Space Invaders. And beneath that is a Halo shelf. Just a small one. Master Chief looking after the child there. Again, this is a little arcade setup for my mini Switch. Some sweets and goodies, and behind it, you can't quite see it, are some of my overspill Switch games. And the other 2 shelves are again Switch games. I will do a dedicated collection video of those at some point. These CDs along here are a lot of my game related music CDs, plus a few now combination CDs. Again, it's more retro stuff, isn't it? Especially now, music CDs these days. Obviously down the shelves, my Star Wars inspired various moulded lights and stuff. Obviously I had to have a Boba Fett, it's one of my favourite Star Wars characters. Down here we have got my Mega Drive games, boxed and complete. I do go back to my Mega Drive collection videos for more details on that. I think I've got about 130 games, and about 30 of those are repros, and the other 100 are originals. All the ones that you can see at the front are all original complete games. Turtles Hyperstone Heist is one of the notable mentions there, and Soleil, and a lot of the Thunder Force games. A few odd handheld controllers on display. The Game Boy Micro is a good one. Neo Geo Pocket, my Star Wars American PSP. That's just a little iPod at the end. It's got a few games on it you can't get anymore. My Saturn, my PAL Sega Saturn. Behind you can see all the Sega Saturn games, and some notable mentions at the front. These are all original complete games. So Deep Fear, KO2, Marvel Superheroes, not a super expensive games, but one of my favourite beat 'em ups. Panzer Dragoon Saga and House of the Dead. Beneath that is my Japanese games. At the front, all my oversized box Japanese Saturn games. The real CD games going on the bottom, they're all my original Japanese Saturn games. And this second row, starting from here up to the end, are my repros. So 60% of my Japanese games are original. Anyone that knows collecting Japanese games, especially as shooters, will know on the Saturn it's a very expensive hobby. So There's about another 4 or 5 original Japanese shooters on the get to replace my repos. I use my repos for playing with, and the originals just shelf pieces, I suppose. Here, it's not the best way of displaying them. These next 3 shelves consist of my PS Vita games and my Dreamcast games. These aren't all the Dreamcasts. I've got more going on the back of, back of the rows of my Dreamcast. Sometimes you can't always display your games as you'd like. So the Vitas look good, but obviously the Dreamcasts are mostly hidden, unfortunately. But it's the way it is. Right, and on the back here is some more metal shelves that have got various odds and sods. It's got bagged import consoles, so like my American Nintendo's, my Nintendo Wii Mini, and my Japanese PS2s, and a few other various odds and sods import bits. This Loshi bag, this is a loose bag of wires more than anything else really. Another box of odds and sods of various controllers which I don't really need or use. That box at the front there's an oversized box of one of my large collectibles. I think it's more than my 4 out 96 set. And a few other collectibles at the top. Okay, now I've got a few Doctor Who plates and down there, and my game signs, and I made this clock myself really. Got a broken PlayStation from the car boot a couple of years back, about a £5. Yeah, the wires, the power supply, as you can see, was all damaged. So I did destroy a working console to make this, and I pretty much whipped out the guts, placed LED light strips inside, which look really effective at night. If you just go back to my night video to see that. And obviously I've got the clock in at the front, so I think that looks alright. Okay, let's go back now to the other side of the game room. Again, as you can see, there's various collectibles. I tried to there's just a Star Wars Battlefront 2 collector's set of merchandise in there. You can see my Virtual Boy, Menacer. I've got the SNES Super Scope behind that as well, and the Famicom Twin Disc System, a sharp one. Game Boy Advance player there, Shenmue, South Park collector's set, Bat Gregor collector's set. In this plastic case, I've got my Sega Game Gear console in the case, loose, plus I've got a few other handhelds in there. The Batmobile collector set for Batman Arkham Knight, very rare set. This is an Xbox One exclusive game. Guess in the comments below what game that is. You might recognise it. Some of you may already have that, but see if you can guess what it is if anyone's interested. Okay, put this back. Yeah, as you can see, it's like metal shelving. These go back two back, and along the wall as well of a conservatory, I've got again a bit similar to what I had for the Xbox. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, so it's probably about about 1,500 odd games around the back there. I don't really play the Wii much, so these black boxes at the back there also with my overspill for a lot of my Wii games, and you can't quite make it out. Maybe you can with a bit of plastic. Just there is my oversized Xbox controller for that Capcom tank game. Oh, the name escapes me. Yeah, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Okay, yeah, so a few interesting collectibles. My PS1 mini, not the mini, PS1 1 console with the LCD double pack, quite rare. I got that about 8 years ago for 80 quid. I thought that was a good deal at the time. PlayStation Virtual Stick, which I've showed it, I've got it loose out on a display cabinet. It's quite collectible, and a Saturn fight stick. The Japanese Rob the Robot. And SNES Super Game Gear. Here I've got all my various boxed light gun games. So obviously I've got the House of Dead 2 for Dreamcast, the Time Crisis games. Back there, I don't know if you can just make out. Like Vampire, was it Vampire Diaries? Or it's not Vampire Diaries, whatever it's called. Vampire Knight and the Ninja Assault. It's also just there, not that you can make it out. Let's see if I can move this out. Yeah, Mega CD, Lethal Enforcers, and a few other boxed light guns. And again, there are small shelves and other box sets behind there. There's quite a front here. There's a Halo 3 ODST. It's quite a rare set with a controller. I got that new when at launch. The Bioshock box sets. So obviously the first one, which was released on the 360 exclusive originally, followed by a PC edition on top, which I got. The PC edition was almost like a tenner from game. I was getting rid of them at the time. Okay, and basically going way back, another two shelves. In the far corner, I've got two lots of CAGs shelves which are full to brim of strategy guides. And on the left is just some oversized consoles and collector sets. There's my box for my Neo Geo AES there. Beneath that is a couple of shelves full of my PlayStation handhelds. And at the bottom again is some more collectible box sets for the Wii and Wii U. And Switch box sets behind there. Here's a bit of the overflow, overspill of some oversized box sets again. My PlayStation analog joystick controller box, that's quite rare at the top. There's a Destiny 2 collector set there. At the top, not that you can make it out, I'll try to zoom in a little bit, is the Army Mosher Demon Siege a Katana controller for a PS2, all boxed and complete. That is super rare. I believe that this shelf is for my Nintendo handhelds of the various variants, you know, like the Zelda handhelds, Metroid and Super Mario Brothers and that sort of thing handhelds at the top. Then I believe that there's about 4 shelves for PSP games, and then there's about at the bottom there's like my Wii U oversized box sets, and at the very bottom there's about a couple of shelves of my UMD movies. Some more retro gamer magazines here. Some of my PS4 steel books. All the way down here. I must have about 700 or 800 PS4 games. I don't know about you guys, but I think the PS4 library is, you know, it's stupendous. It's, you know, it's so many indie games as well. It's not just the classic big hitters. And I think as a console choice for me, I actually think I'm not going to collect many for a PS5. If it's just, the game's released on the PS4, I'll probably go for a PS4 version, because for a lot of PS4 games you can just stick into your PS5 and it'll install the PS5 version of the game. And there's very few PS5 exclusives, so I'll probably just get the PS5 exclusives and double dip on some of my favourite IP, like the Resident Evil series for the games. And just focus on getting PS4, because that's where my bulk collection is. I mean, obviously I've got tons of PS3 too, and PS2, as you know, and PlayStation, so I'm a bit of a Sony pony, even though I do love the other systems too. But it's just, you know, at the end of the day, I haven't got much room. I Have I? So, especially for new PS5 games, I thought I'd say at the very bottom shelf, my Xbox One series, back double Xbox One games. So again, I was just went for the exclusives more than anything else. Again, you might see some of these black boxes. A lot of those have got my Xbox 360 oversized, not oversized, little special edition collector's sets. Those two black bags or boxes contain game-related DVDs. And again, over there, some of my PS2 SOCOM box sets. And the thing is, other collectibles there. So yeah, guys, I mean, last count, I think I got about just under 8,000 games. And unfortunately, like I said, behind these shelves, there are more shelves which has got a lot of collectible consoles which I don't need to have access to on a day-to-day basis. I just wanted to get hold of, you know, they'll be able to see the collector's sets and the games more easily. And to be honest, I've got so many retro games I can play on my Retro Freak or my arcade sticks and everything else. Really, I've got, you know, ways of playing those older games as well as having the original games here. So it's a bit crazy, I must admit. But again, I guess a lot of us video game collectors are a bit crazy stroke hoarders stroke retro nostalgic collectors. I guess that's what we are. But yeah, that's my little game room. But easily have a room double this size and fit it up nicely, but at the end of the day, finite space is an issue that plagues most of us gamers really. At least I've got it. Trying to have a best of both worlds by having those, you know, those tangible collectibles, still having those, getting to them when I really have to, but also have some space to display most of them and some space to actually get hold of the games and play them, which is what it's all about at the end of the day. Okay guys, so that's it for 2021. That is my game room tour. Take care, keep safe, and I'll see you later. And just for those of you who is worried about those boxes suffering from UV damage, like I said, I've also got these pretty net curtains over those particular shelves to protect them from any possibility of UV damage, as well as, like I said, the curtains there, plastic screens that kill 95% UV light, and also on the conservatory roof, I've got the white roof as opposed to a clear roof. So yeah, I've done everything I've can to protect those goodies. So take care, bye.